Hello and welcome, guys. My name's George. Welcome to the channel. Very glad to see you here. Before we get started, check out our friends over at Zzounds, this other screen here, this big screen. Zzounds.com. They send me all this cool stuff to show to you, for me to have fun with, and for us to enjoy things, okay? Making the world a better place for guitar players and musicians. Anyways, today, guys, I'm so excited. I am introducing to you guys my pride and my joy. This is a Squier Classic Vibe 50s. A Squier. A Squier. Yes, I said that right. Squier. Not a Fender American. Not a Fender custom shop. Hand built. No, this is a Squier Classic Vibe 50s. Man. Okay. The story goes, there's a couple of versions of this, by the way. A couple of different versions of this guitar. So we've got Butterscotch Blonde, which runs for $429.99 at the making of this video. $429.99. I played it for a little small tour that I was on, and I loved it. I loved it. And I couldn't get it out of my head. Maybe about 6 months passed by. Still kept thinking about her. I missed her. Everything reminded me of her. And finally, they made a white blonde version on the screen now. White blonde version with gold hardware. Gold hardware. For a little bit more. $479.99. Under $500. And I had to get it, man. Absolutely had to get it. It just looks so elegant. I love it. Anyways, $479.99. We're going to go ahead and talk about specs here, what I like, what I don't like, because, like, no guitar is absolutely perfect, but you can make it perfect. And so I decided not to make it perfect until after I made this video. Excuse me. Because I just wanted to give it to you as it is. This is my guitar, though. I did buy it from Zzounds, but yeah, this is totally my guitar. So usually some other demos I'll demo it, but this one's mine. I'm not getting rid of this. Anyways, guys, we're gonna talk about this. I like starting from the top, going to the bottom. We've got here the Squier headstock. We've got beautiful gold vintage tuners. Love them. They look. I mean, you have to have gold tuners if everything else is gold, right? They're very good. They're very good. They keep the guitar in tune, Cool. We got a synthetic bone nut, which is a very cool upgrade for a relatively inexpensive guitar. The maple neck feels amazing. That is one thing that attracted me to this guitar at the very start when I first played the Butterscotch Blonde one. I loved the neck. The neck is just insane. So the thing is, guys, is on YouTube, I can play something and make it sound really good. I can play literally a Digitech, what those old school Digitechs we all know, right? I can play that and make it sound like a freaking $3,000 Mesa Boogie. Okay, you can do that online nowadays with editing and stuff, okay? Or at least you can make it sound really close, okay? That's not what I'm really about, okay? I'm trying to give you guys the practicality of guitars, okay? Anywho, it feels great. We're going to look at the back here. I love the stripe going down, okay? His brother, the Classic Vibe 60s, does not have that, which I just reviewed, so check that out, guys. Yeah, and then just, the beautiful maple fingerboard looks great. It looks great. Everything about the neck is pretty much perfect. Okay, we're gonna go down here. Now we've got this. This is a pine body. I'm gonna double check. Yeah, it is a pine body. It says balanced response similar to alder, and I actually really like alder bodies. I had a guitar once that had an alder body, and I noticed that the tone was just I just liked it. I don't know, just liked it. Anywho, I like it. It has some weight on it. Okay, and I like that. Okay, I personally like a bit of a heavier guitar. It makes it feel more expensive, I feel, in my opinion. Right? So I like it. I come from the Les Paul world. So if you like a little bit heavier, I'd say maybe it's in the realm of 8-9 pounds. I'm sorry, I don't have a scale on me right now to let you know, but it's somewhere around the 8-9 poundish mark. Anywho, we're gonna move on. We've got beautiful gold hardware. Everything else is pretty standard. I love the white on gold. That's what sold it to me, and the feel. The bridge, I love the bridge. I love these vintage bridges with I forget. I mean, it's just a vintage style bridge, man. Okay. I prefer it much more to than the modern ones. Usually when I have a modern Telecaster and I swapped out that modern bridge for one of these, you get a little bit more twang, a little bit more spank in the tone. I don't know why. I don't know the physics of it. It just does. Okay? Sometimes some things are better left unexplained. Okay? It just has a bit more twang to it. So cool. I put it on there. Anyways, this has that bridge that I like. Okay? If you haven't compared or listened to comparisons of the bridges, I recommend you try it. You might like the modern one a little bit more. I find that these are still very comfortable and have the twang that I'm looking for in Telecaster. There are some other bridges that they do retain the twang, but they're not as comfortable. Okay, so this one I find is still very comfortable. I can still palm mute, I can still do all the things that I want to do, but it still retains the twang. So I prefer that. We do have a gold neck pickup, and everything else is pretty basic, guys. We're gonna go ahead and listen to how it looks, or listen to how it sounds. Listen to how it looks. Wow. Listen to how it sounds. And we're going to talk about two things I would change. And I mentioned this as well in the Classic Vibe 60s Telecaster, which I actually have sitting around right here. Watch. I'll show you. This one's awesome, by the way. The 60s. Very, very awesome. But this one is mine. There are many like it, but this one is mine, right? There's two things I would change. I would change out the tuners, which I'm going to. I have the Goto locking tuners right here. So I didn't want to do that yet, just so I could do this demo and show you guys. But I would change those out. I think it's a very inexpensive thing to do a very nice upgrade for your guitar. Okay, so inexpensive. I can do it myself. I don't have to take it in anywhere, and it looks good. And at least it should improve the tuning stability of the guitar. And it's inexpensive. I mentioned that a lot, but it's inexpensive. It's maybe I think I spent $70 on them. So, helps it out a whole lot for a little bit of buck. And the second thing I would do is we're going to change out these pickups. Now, they're not bad pickups. And I believe that they have the same pickups as the 60s Classic. What it says here, let me see. Okay, we've got Fender designed Alnico single coil pickups. Okay, now, are they terrible? Nah, I wouldn't say they're terrible. But, like for a guitar this price, feeling this good, something's got to give, and I would imagine it would just be the pickups, because everything else is just wonderful. It's just absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to change these pickups out. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I'm kind of in the market for some Tele single coils. I want them to be relatively like, I kind of want like a vintage hot set. Now the tricky part is I need this pickup to be gold. Yeah, I need a gold cover. So that's a little tricky. I can't really, you know, you're a little bit more limited when it comes to that. Okay, but anyways, let's go ahead and hear what it sounds like, and we'll come right back and give my final thoughts. Here we go. All right, guys, there you have it. Squier, classic vibe, 50s. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, check our friends over at Zzounds.com right here. The links are all down below. Guys, have a wonderful day. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.